Good morning. It's 2:39 a.m. Tuesday, November 6th, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, let's take a look at Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin is going to go break past. If it breaks past 54, it'll probably go up straight up to 56. Let's see. We might even see a possible run to $60 today. But again, that's if we have a good run up. Now, you notice, due to the fact that the price is going up, the kettling walls that I always speak about have also went up in size. Again, that's to cope with the incoming volume, to keep the price between them. If the volume starts to pick up, there's always a possibility that if the wall is kept at the predetermined size, that it'd be possible for the market to actually overrun these walls, taking away the capital of the manipulator, which he doesn't want. We know that he doesn't want that because anytime the price approaches the walls on either side, he takes them down. That's video recorded. These walls have been up there since as far as I can detect, December. They were used to pump the price up to the ridiculous amount, and they're now being used to keep the price at a certain amount. This market is totally manipulated. I have already found how they manipulate Litecoin and the Bitcoin market, and they use the same methods for every other market that they got on Coinbase Pro. They were told about it. The proof is open. It's too obvious. They haven't done anything about it, and I do believe they owe us. Anybody that's invested in this platform and has lost money due to these manipulated flash crashes, long-term crashes, the shorters who've lost money on their shorts because the manipulation going up, they're owed money. This market should not have been manipulated. And I'm sorry, the more I look at this market, the more I'm suspicious that Coinbase Pro is taking active part in this manipulation, either being associated with the person that's manipulating this, or they're manipulating it directly. I'll be back to my reason why. I just gotta get a pen. Now, the reason why I say the accusation that Coinbase Pro is associated with this type of manipulation is because of numerous attempts of myself to proactively stop the manipulation by noting it and reporting it in. Like in this case now, it's obvious to me that the manipulator or manipulators have changed the kettling walls. So now what I do is I have to actually observe when the market sizes of these two become one and the same. So when you see the walls and you're not sure of 100% after they change them, always look to the value of the smallest one. And usually that's what it happens to be. Now you've seen it disappear. Now it's up here, you see. So now watch mysteriously as the price will increase over $54. So now I'm going to assume that the new wall is 20,066.78, as we've seen, but he moved it up here. If I would have seen what was posted there before it was moved up there, I could be able to tell you if that is 20,066.78. But you see, he moved it up. Now, if we move this one, you see how this is closer to the epicenter? That's naturally he's putting a buy pressure into this area. He relieved the sell pressure by moving this up. And now he's going to create more buy pressure by moving his price closer to the epicenter. Think of this as an accordion. The note you want to get, that's where you push toward the center of the accordion. And then he pulled this one back out. Now, if you follow all my videos, I have a lot that I haven't posted, but I keep them as part of my information. If other words, I put the most relevant ones, the ones where you can see the detect the manipulation very easy. Those are up there. I have plenty more of those. There's no doubt about that. But I also have other ones where like October 24th, when they went in there with Bitcoin, and they ran a scam by putting in limit-only orders only for about an hour after they supposedly did their maintenance. Every other coin was put up as fully all systems operational, and on the 24th, you noticed that Bitcoin was put in the limit-only orders, and then you can see that. You just go back to October 24th. It's very easy to see. Watch, we'll go back. We could probably see it on a 6-hour a lot easier. Okay, let's see if this works. We have to use the 1 hour. Okay. On the 24th, you gotta watch these guys because I've been noticing something. You'll see this here. This is when they did maintenance. And then you'll notice right after maintenance there's a huge plunge in the price. Okay. Now when they were doing maintenance at this time, when they brought their exchange back online, all the other currencies were put all systems operational. Bitcoin was the exception. It was put in limit only orders. I have that recorded. I have it posted up. You can look at it. What a limit order does is it tells the guy, okay, the limit order says the price is set at this price right here. When we close it down for maintenance, 6,422. So if you're coming in to buy in the limit order mode, you pay that price, and the next order you come in, you pay lower, and next one lower. So somebody knew when the maintenance was coming on, they will kept buying lower and at lower and lower prices due to the limit order, and it was put in limit order for over 2 hours, over an hour, and that's why the price went down. Okay. So when you got this in limit order, this is the biggest scam in history. You're bringing the price down, right? You hit it here, and then you could, when it comes on, you immediately start to sell again. You go into sell mode because you got this cheaper. You're gonna make a profit. This here, when it was put in limit order, this was insider. This is a hallmark of insider trading right there. They knew that the system was going into maintenance, and then when they put it in limit order, they deliberately put it in limit order. There was no reason for them to put it in limit order. It was back online like the other ones. It should have been put in all systems operational. Instead, what they did is they gave them some time to scam you out of your money. That's what they did. When they put it in limit order only, they used it to scalp you. That's what Coinbase Pro did. I'm sorry. But these guys, any kind of way they can help themselves to your money, they'll do. And they have done it. I watched them do it. Anybody who says otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about. Either that, or you think you could follow the thief, and maybe he'll drop something he's stolen from somebody else, and you'll be able to pick it up and put it in your pocket. You're the kind of person who if you're making money in this market following a thief, this is like somebody robbed the bank and is running from the cops, and he drops a brick of money. What do? Instead of giving it to the police or saying, hey, this guy's a thief, here's the money he stole, you run over, pick up the packet, and put it in your pocket, and then you run home. That's what you are. You're just a sneak thief, an opportunistic thief. You're no better than the manipulator himself. All you people out there following the manipulators and riding their coattails. You're just a low life, just like they are. Look at the average market price, $6,421. This is the cash price. Okay, now let's go to Sneak Thief Haven over here. You see the price difference to the market average? I don't care how small it is. It just goes to show you that this market is manipulated. It can't even hit the market average. This is the same thing that BTC was doing, that Coinbase was using before Coinbase had an exchange. They would average the 5 largest exchange, one of them being BTC. BTC was always lower than the other ones. And what happened to BTCE? They were money laundering. This is why I don't, and who was complaining about the average price being so low on BTCE? People trading on Coinbase. Now Coinbase is taking the place of BTCE. They're always below market average because something's going on that shouldn't be going on with the rest of the exchanges. That's all it is. These guys over here are the fiat manipulators. I don't care if you guys got USDT. Now, the reason why they got USDT on here now is they think that, if the guy's talking that stable coin's going to stop the manipulators, not on this platform, because you see you got this is low rent right here. Look at this. Soon as it gets on sale at BAT, what happens? The dumping begins. The manipulation. Guys wasted no time. Before, Coinbase used to have the Midas touch in December. Now everything they touch goes to shit. Because the manipulation has gotten so bad. Look at the prices. Only went up 5 cents. Look at CRX when it got on its market. Look at it. So now Coinbase has lost the golden touch. Now Coinbase is just a short as galore. It's too late. It's too late now because these guys their manipulators gotten a hold of this exchange, and he's running the whole exchange because he has enough money to do so. It's taken him only $1.5 million to manipulate the whole BTC market. Okay? This is whoever's got this money is manipulating all the prices. They basically either own the exchange and people just gonna stop coming here. He runs around like he lords it over the whole price of the exchange. Nobody's gonna want to trade here anymore. I don't care if you put stablecoin on here or not. You put this low price token and you're running it with stablecoin. It's the manipulator is in here. As soon as you put the stablecoin up there, you probably took, oh, I'll just exchange my manipulation cash for stablecoin, and I'll control that market too. It's an individual or group that has to be removed from the platform on Coinbase, and they will not do it because that person is generating all the fees they're making, even if it's themselves. 20% of, I can tell you right now, this volume is corrupt. This exchange is corrupt. The volume is corrupt. The prices are corrupt. And the biggest reason why is because Coinbase trades on their own exchange. And 20% of the volume here is from Coinbase proper. And then they're going to turn around and tell you 20% of the volume doesn't cause any effect on the price. 20%, you put a 20% raise over here on a 24-hour price, and then you tell me that's not going to affect the price? You raise you do 20% more buys in this market, and you tell me it's not going to affect. You got to be a dumbass. That's why I believe that these trades here are Coinbase's attempt to mask their own trading on a platform. These guys got to go to jail. I'm telling you, they're running this is no better than BitConnect, the way they're running this exchange. They get you to come in, you buy, hopefully you buy over here, and what do? They start manipulating you. If you're shorting, right here, they destroy you by manipulating the market up. They liquidate all your positions, you owe them. And then if you're holding, going long, thinking it's going to go higher, then they liquidate your positions through your stop losses and liquidate you again. And then they charge you fees after they liquidate your account. They get your coin cheap, let the market recover, sell it back to some other person coming in. But people have stopped coming in. You could tell, you see? The volumes are dying. This is what happens when you run a criminal enterprise. Nobody wants to be associated with you anymore. I have taken myself off this platform completely because it's too fucking manipulated. There's too much fucking thievery going on. Oh, it's the volatility. Of course it's the volatility. You guys are manipulating the shit out of your own market. People are either swing trading or day trading. That means after a certain percentage, they're buying and selling. Now all of a sudden, the market is, goes in one direction constantly for 10 months. That's bullshit. Bullshit. It's the biggest manipulation scam they ever run in history. It's easy to explain. The average investor has the market up to $350 billion. Over a course of a month, it doubles. So you're telling me the average investor all of a sudden says, well, let me just throw down, I have double the money during Christmas time, I want you to know, when everybody's usually loading up on their credit card debt. We have enough money to throw it into the cryptocurrencies. We're all the average investors just throwing $350 billion. Hey, let's double the market cap. And then after that, the market gets depressed for going on 11 months. Please, that's the biggest scam I ever seen. I can tell you, I have 20 years. As soon as my friend Armand seen that, he called me up. He goes, John, did you see this? I go, what? I go, yeah, look at the market increase. I go, yeah, I sold everything out. I go, that's a pump and dump, man. I said, well, it can't be done by anybody else unless they have a lot of money to pump that market. So you guys, I'm sorry, there's three people that I would question on this because three of them were in the room when this pump was happening, and they were saying Bitcoin was in a bubble. And then when you turn around and you look at the bubble, like say you compare it to the tulip mania, as they were calling it, where that bubble lasts from 1636 to 1637. It wasn't even a year. It was from November of 1636 to February of 1637, and the bubble was 20-fold. That's a bubble. We didn't go 20-fold. We're lucky if we doubled in price. Okay, only one two-fold, other words, increase. And then they're comparing it to something that went up to 20-fold. Even if you go to the bubble of the East India Company bubble of 1711, that went eightfold. We didn't even get close to eightfold. We went twofold. So how they're saying bubble, comparing it to a bubble, those bubbles, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. I'm telling you. These guys came in, these big money lenders, or market I would say traditional market enthusiasts. They seen this as a threat. They pumped it up, and then they pulled the rug out from under us because this market here is a direct threat to the banking system. This makes banking and investment, the traditional markets, obsolete. Obsolete. And these guys know it. So these guys over here, that's why Charlie Lee dumped all his coin at the price. They had inside information. They knew where this money was coming in from because they're the people who accept the cash for the market to be pumped that high. They knew this money, large amount of money, was coming in. They knew it was going to be pumped, and they knew it was going to be dumped. They knew it. And the reason how those two guys knew it, being associated and in full ownership of the exchange, they know when somebody opens an account, they know how much cash they're depositing, and they knew they were going to pump the market, and they cashed in on us. They wrecked us all, and they benefited themselves. They knew this was going to happen. You're telling me you own an exchange, and all of a sudden your market capital investment in all these coins doubles, and you don't know about it? You're telling me somebody opens up an account and says we're going to throw umpteen billion in our account and start buying coin on your exchange? You're not going to notice? That's bullshit, man. I can tell you that right away. These guys cashed in on it. They cashed in. And they're going to do it again, too. Because you know why? They got away with it. This market is too manipulated. I see a lot of people, oh, it's going to take off. Because we're going to expand in business. Oh, we're on Facebook right now and blah, blah, blah. Don't forget this guy ripped you off. Everybody's forgetting. You know, Charlie Lee was there for the pump and dump. That's why Charlie Lee sold all his coin at $368. And then he went and bought 10% of a bank. And not only did he buy 10% of the bank, his partner went out and bought 10%. Token Pay went and bought 10% of the bank and gave it to him. And then they went in and bought another 10% of the bank. So they own 20% of that WEG bank. And they're looking to buy the rest of the bank. Watch these guys. They got away with that scam. He's living comfortably off that now. But like most rich people, he always thinks he's got to think, what if I get caught, or what if the money runs out? That's greedy people. It's their natural inclination. Now they're gonna want more. If they got it before using that operation, they'll do it again. It benefited them. It's a hunting tactic. Any animal in the woods that has a successful hunting tactic and benefits from it, they will always use that hunting tactic, and they'll use it more than once. When the opportunity to use it, to exploit it, is available to them, they will do it. That's all we are, as hunter-gatherers, but now we're just a little bit more sophisticated. And the goal is to hunt and gather your cash and put it in their pocket. It's a disgrace what they did. They ran the biggest pump and dump scheme ever devised in crypto. There was no exchange. You're telling me that this in 2014, they're comparing this market to 2014, and what people forget, what they're comparing it to, they're comparing it to the Mt. Gox collapse, for crying out loud. Was there a Mt. Gox event that caused this market to go up 350% and then crash it? Mt. Gox did that. They're the ones who pumped it and crashed it. Okay? Mt. Gox was responsible for that. And these guys ran a Mt. Gox on everybody. Mike Armstrong equals Mark Karplus. Charlie Lee is just an accomplice. Charlie Lee said, well, they're going to pump this up to like $400. I'm going to sell it at $368. And then tell everybody I sold all my Litecoin because conflict of interest. Well, you should have done that years ago, Charlie, when you were working for Coinbase. What are you talking about? All of a sudden, when the price hits the highest it's ever been before, you sold it, and then you use the excuse, well, what happened to all the time previously when you were twittering away and pumping the price up? And then you're telling people, everybody accuses me of pumping the price because I Twitter away. Then what do? You sell all your coin and you Twitter everybody that you sold it. And then you say you sold it for a reason because everybody's accusing me when I Twitter that I'm manipulating the price. Well, that's exactly what you did. Oh, God, the stupidity in these people. They think they hatched the perfect crime, and they think the only person possible of solving it is the ultra-high IQ Sherlock Holmes, because the way they rig the market, it's only detectable by really, really smart people. No, it's not. You're fucking dumb. You got caught manipulating the price. You're still manipulating the price. And it's not because you're smart. It's because everybody around you is equally dumb that you got away with it. I'm sorry, I don't fall in that category. Now, the price here, I can confirm now, this is the lowest wall, 266.79. These guys are manipulating the price. These guys are running boiler room antics because they believe they're unregulated. And then they attracted every crook from coast to coast in this market. I'm telling you, that December was a massive pump and dump scam. That's all that was, December. 350 billion, doubles the market cap. That means the average investor doubled his input into this market. That's full of shit. Around Christmas time, when people are in the most debt, is around Christmas time. These guys are not fooling anybody. The law of the averages is against this. It's beyond coincidence. This is like saying, oh, I got an extra $100,000 to put in when I'm out there spending all my money like there's no tomorrow. All right, let me post this up. People better open your eyes, man. You got to start. You're doing a technical analysis, but if you see something wrong and you see these sell walls, why don't you discuss why these been up here since forever? How come nobody notices this? You do all this, you follow all the graphs, you're looking at the buy price, the price is going up. And then you don't look over in the order book and say, why are these buy and sell walls, same market size, move up in price and the market moves up in price? Gee, that's been going on for 11 months. Now the market price for these two market size, duplicate market size trade goes down, and gee, the price goes down. You guys can't notice that? Come on, man, come on. You guys gotta call this out. You can't just let it go. You know what this happens? Think of it this way. You're trying to make money in this market. You invested all that time, equipment, you got your little studios and everything. That cost a pretty penny. You're doing all your work on YouTube, you're making money from YouTube, but you can't notice these two outrageously sized market size walls moving up and down and controlling the price? Is that what you're telling me? You can do a technical analysis and you cannot see the manipulation in the order book? You know what that makes your technical analysis worth? Absolutely zero. And I know some of you guys have been watching my videos because I see you guys commenting on the stuff that I'm putting up here. And you know, call it out. Don't be a coward behind a microphone. Don't act like CNN. And all of you know what I'm talking about. Don't make the news, bend the news profitable to yourself. Call it out. I demand you call it out. You see it. I can see it. Me, a rudimentary person. I'm very black or white. There is no in between for me. Okay. I've been that way since the banking system needed me to be that way. I've been trained that way because I either see something going on or they're not. I either confirm it's there or it doesn't exist. That was my job. And here it is. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And I'm getting pretty pissed at all you guys. I'm sending you the links. Some of you like half-heartedly mention something. You have to understand. You cannot hold a wishy-washy position on this. If you go back in the record and you see how much coin has exchanged hands through this manipulation and the losses that incurred, on one day on Litecoin, that's hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars are not a silly game or a joke. It needs to be confronted right in its face. You stand there. Why is your market manipulated? And when they start telling you, oh no, it's not bullshit. I'm looking at it right here. Look, it's manipulated. And you tell them, don't insult my intelligence. First of all, you begin that. After they say that, you say, don't insult my intelligence. Look at it right here. How many months do you need for me to show you that this market is manipulated? Do you think we're that stupid? Do you think we have the observation of a goldfish? That's when you tell them, don't insult me. And then you ask them the question again. When somebody's telling you that you can't believe your own eyes, they're trying to make you have doubt. They're trying to make you think that you're stupid or what you're seeing is not true. That's a standard manipulation practice of obsessive psychopaths will tell you that to get your pocket and to get into your pocket and manipulate you. They're sociopaths, psychopaths, whatever you want to call them. People who go in and take other people's money, there's something wrong with them. You have to understand they don't have any human empathy to do something like this. All right? Let's just put it that way. There's something wrong with them. They cannot connect to other people. You understand? That's why they do stuff like this to them. And then they're going to tell you, contrary, that they don't care about how you feel about something they're doing. If it benefits them and them only, they don't give a shit what they do to anybody else. You have to understand the mind of a manipulator, okay? I'm not benefiting anything from this. If anything, I'm losing. I'm not getting paid for this. You got to understand, the person that's manipulating is a sociopath or a psychopath. Take your pick. One is a more severe degree. Now, when you say sociopath, the sociopath wants one thing. He wants everything in his favor. He's obsessed with his own condition. And what they'll do is they'll go in and manipulate this market. They have no empathy toward anybody else. And the sociopath/psychopath will enrich themselves at the cost of other people. Now, other people will be suffering, but they don't care about that because they feel good. They got what they wanted. So they're not gonna. They're gonna go in denial. They're gonna put themselves on. They're gonna use the corporate ladder. I hold a higher position. I have more money than you, so I'm better than you. There's not something wrong with me. There's something wrong with everybody else. That's why they ignore it when you say, "Hey, look what you did here." It's very obviously you've been caught on camera, and they'll go in. Well, it's not my fault, or it's not regulated, or they'll think of everything possible. And that's the pattern of a criminal mind. A criminal mind has sociopathic obstruction. That's why they engage in crime. You engage in crime because you don't have human empathy. Okay, it's not there. This is why when you send letters to the head of investigations and go, here's the proof that hundreds of millions were stolen. Oh, I don't want to take play with your silly game, or I work for federal law enforcement because he's up there. He works with law enforcement all across the country. You're a nobody. Meanwhile, I work with law enforcement officers for the past 10 years. Okay? FBI, you name it, I worked with them. Even at my current job now, I work with an FBI agent making sure one of his clients is safe all the time. And a matter of fact, he trusts me. He actually asks for me because he knows I'm trustworthy. And I handle some of the most important people in the Jewish community. And I'm not Jewish. They trust me. The rabbi in Brooklyn, New York, I used to speak to him every day because they trust me. One of the richest Jewish Orthodox family. I work for them now because they trust me. There you go. There's a confirmation of the sell walls. We waited a while, 38 minutes. If the new manipulation sell wall on Litecoin is 20,066.79, 20,066.79. So that's my guess this morning. I was off by a penny. Why? Because I know the pattern of manipulation that's going on in Litecoin. I have studied it. I have learned it. I know this creature. Alright? So anybody says that I don't know what I'm talking about, you explain this. You explain this. Okay? You explain all my videos for the past, since I've been noting it on video. You explain to me why those the largest walls, the buy and sell wall, well, I shouldn't say the largest, they are the largest walls on the buy and sell side, change every 7 to 10 days, they never bought or sold, and they just happen to move up and down and cause the price to move up and down with it. You explain to me, or listen to the sociopath who's going to rob you. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We've been in this business from 2014. What does he know? He's just a trader. Meanwhile, if I put my resume up here, it embarrass you. I've been in this market more than most people have been fucking alive. This is why I don't like these people. They're very disrespectful. These young boiler room staff. Dude, you went and kicked a fucking bear. You went in a dark room, you felt around, you felt some fur, oh, this stupid dog, you kicked it. Then you turned on the lights and you seen there was a grizzly bear there. That's me, I'm a fucking grizzly bear. And I'm about to tear your head off. You wait, Coinbase. I tried to work this out and you insulted me. And I even got it on YouTube. What the nice little email compliance with your head investigator. Watch what I do to you guys. Watch. You ripped off so many people. I don't believe that. If I see somebody get knocked down on the floor, you know what I do? I try to pick them up. I try to help them out. If I see a big guy beating on a little guy, I don't care if the big guy is bigger than me. I jump in and try to help the little guy. I've been on all that way through elementary school. My friends know it. I used to fight all the biggest guys, the bullies. Because I can't stand bullies. There's something in me. I probably have a genetic defect myself. Mental defect. I don't like to see big people picking on little people. I just cannot stand it. Because I used to go through it myself. And after you get your ass kicked quite a few times, guess what? You learn to fight. Trial and error. Then the next time the guy comes up and went to punch me, I knocked him out. He walked around the school with a big black eye for a couple of weeks. And then he stopped fucking with people. This is what's got to happen to Coinbase. I'm telling you, that guy, Brian Armstrong and Charlie Lee need to be investigated. There's something obviously very wrong with this exchange. It doesn't meet market price averages, okay? There's obvious manipulation during maintenance of October 24th. They pointed that out. All the other systems go online. They're 100% operational. Bitcoin stays in limit-only orders, and then lo and behold, the price goes down for as long as they had it in limit orders. It's ridiculous. They went in, they used the maintenance to do a little insider trading before the market came up, or somebody noticed it was up. And they did it late at night. And then they brought the price down, and they got themselves a whole nice big bag full of cheap coin, manipulating the market using maintenance. That's insider trading. I'm sorry. These guys are really bad, man. I mean, the buy and sell war? Come on, man. This is childish. This isn't even a good attempt to manipulate price because you're keeping it between the price range. You don't think people have seen this before? Maybe some of your younger people haven't seen it before, but I've seen it several times. Okay? You're trying to range the price. This is something Madoff did when his books were starting to sour and he couldn't pass on the profits because the price was going down. So what did he do? He did something like this to keep the price range stable so he can keep the game going. Everybody knows this. Everybody does. So now look, now you can see he moved the price ranges up for these. I told you he did. And now the price is going up. Because they're putting buy pressure on it. They're asserting buy pressure. They're forcing the market up. It's all a lie. And then people are going to turn around and say, well, that's how the other markets are run. You're telling me if Warren Buffett's sitting down and sees anything that he buys manipulated, that Warren Buffett isn't going to say anything. And then a person of Warren Buffett's caliber, or Charlie Munger, or a Bill Gates from Microsoft sees somebody else manipulating something they're invested in. You're telling me none of their staff, or Mr. Gates, or Mr. Munger, or Mr. Buffett, is not going to have anybody call the SEC? Is that what you're telling me? That's why it's not manipulated, because the richest people with a gang of lawyers trade there. They're not going to let that happen. And you idiots over here, we're just going to follow the manipulator and make money. Oh my God. You got the morals of a snake. Cowards. Let me post this up. Well, people, just be aware. I find this, obviously, I find this disgusting and abhorrent. I tried to do something about it. I am doing something about it. It's going to take some time. Trust me, I'll get it done. I always do. If I notice something, I stick to it till it's done. It takes me a year or two, I'll get it done. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting them slide. I see too many videos on here from people, oh, I've been wiped out. I have no money for this. I have no money for that. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm seeing too many videos coming out from people who are getting ripped off by these manipulators. And these guys know what they're doing. They know. Let me post this up.